Hey rat bags, it's Jade with a Grounded news video. Grounded's fully yoked update is obviously live. It has been. It's been a crazy couple of days. Been doing my best to get as many guides and videos out. So I didn't really take a look at the patch notes and maybe some of the other stuff that you guys might need to know. So I'm not going to necessarily go through the patch notes today, but there are a few things probably worth talking about, including brand new people on Switch and PlayStation not being able to have crossplay properly enabled. Does look like there's a bug or a glitch at the moment that's stopping it, especially on the Switch. So fingers crossed that is going to get fixed soon. And any other instances of stuff going on, we've also seen from the event, the April Easter event, that maybe something's off with that, hence why you can't get that lucky green hat. So yeah, let's dive into everything that's gone on, the launch of it. What do we think about update 1.4? Where are all the tier 4 weapons? And yes, fully yoked, is it everything cracked up to be? Let's go. So being able to connect and join and play online should be working now for people if you want to just play on your regular PlayStation 4 and 5. That was fixed just about 2 days ago. However, it does look like Nintendo Switch has got to have an update go through. That patch is currently in the works. So it might not be this week, it might end up being next week. So if you've got a Switch, you won't necessarily be able to complete your cross progression. Remember, you can play Grounded across all your devices, the same save, as long as you're signing into your Microsoft account. There have been a few crashes as well, so they've got a contact form if you have any big problems like that. They've also said that you've got to maybe enable to opt in for crossplay, particularly on Switch and maybe PlayStation. There should be an option underneath the game settings. So if it doesn't pop up with the box that normally enables you to sign into a Microsoft account, it's pretty clear instructions here to go and check it out, enable crossplay. It will show unlink Microsoft account. You might want to do that and then link it back again. And then it'll have this box saying crossplay sign in or continue without crossplay. You then enter your code once you've gone to the microsoft.com//link site. And as soon as you see your Xbox gamer tag in the top right corner, that's it. It should start working. Now, something else interesting, I do feel like this probably should have spoke about beforehand, was that if people are hosting a world, they've said that it's best that maybe if you're playing with friends regular, you get your friends to host the world and you join on your Switch, rather than your friend hosting it on their Switch and everyone joining. And you can imagine why. The hardware, the Switch just isn't going to be the optimal way to play Grounded. And so if everyone's joining on your world, that's causing a lot more maybe of the game to really run itself out. Don't think that's very good though, and I do question why you've added crossplay if you can't actually host it on your own Switch. And what about Switch to Switch? Maybe it's only for just cross-platform experiences. Fingers crossed. I haven't actually tried it out on Switch yet. I've got my physical copy edition coming, but it's not till December. I really didn't fancy buying another copy of a game that I've already got on like 3 other platforms. Not when I've got one coming anyway. Also with that as well, if you want to play crossplay, you will have to share your worlds. Again, something probably they should have spoke about in a blog post before the game came out. But effectively, yeah, if you want to share your world, that's how you play crossplay with each other as well. It is a bit on Xbox and Steam at the moment. I swear you can just connect regardless. You don't have to have a shared world. But that's what they've said right now. The only worlds that will appear cross-platform are shared worlds. However, you can easily convert your other worlds to a shared world, which should appear when you play on your PS5. Extra add voice over for me. I have done a video talking about the starter guide, and I will make sure I chuck this in how you can do this and set this up. That's coming very soon in another video. Look at me, tired Jade PG, staying up all late making these videos. So in the patch notes it does state and talk about why there are limitations now on the game. Effectively with the Switch being added and obviously a lot of people being able to play crossplay, probably with the playgrounds as well, that they've had to limit how much content you can actually have in your world. Or certainly you will start seeing maybe performance tank even more if you're playing a really complex playground. There's been a ton of improvements to optimization and it should run smoother and faster and better for everyone because of the ports. They've added a ton of new stuff that you can use in the playgrounds, including the jack-o'-lantern, your yoke girth, Moldok's castle, the bird bath, charcoal bag, just so much more. And here in the patch notes it says, an object capacity meter can be found on the pause menu that tells you how many objects, either in playground or standard game, you have in your level. This is useful to know if you're sharing worlds with lower end machines to make sure the game can be played reliably on all hardware. If you've got no intention of having your yard as a crossplay compatible, this capacity limit can be changed in the game settings menu to match your platform's suggested limit or have no limit at all. So yes, if you're playing with your pals on Switch, or maybe your second Switch, or maybe your own Switch, be warned that yes, things might start stuttering, or you might reach these limits, and it might be something you have to actually turn off. I think it's a middle ground and a compromise for getting the game running on a Switch in the first place, but it might be a bit of a shock to some people who might have expected everything to just run automatically. And that's where we're at the moment. Obviously, like I said, a bunch of this stuff I've already shown off, like the new queens and more. A couple of things that maybe not everyone's talking about right now, though, is that you can make your pets pretty much be recovered. If you find them, they've gone missing or lost, they should teleport back to their pet house. And playgrounds are meant to be able to be sorted by keywords, player count, and genre by browsing. And you can also start reporting playgrounds now if there's any content in it that's not good. But from what I've heard from a few people, this is currently still not working. People have tried looking for my only down map and it didn't actually work in the keywords. So that might be a work in progress. But it's one step good. I'm really hoping they do add some sort of review system in the future to stop some of the junk maps that have appeared being pretty much high in the charts. And so onto the April event. Grounded has occasionally had events, pretty much sign sets that you can buy for some raw science, and they unlock that and you can often get like a decorative piece. So at Christmas we get like this fake mini candy tree and a wreath, and they've had a few other little bits and bobs as well. So they've got another one for April, and it's meant to unlock the maybe hats, the green lucky hat that you might have seen me trying to find this. What's meant to happen is you come across some eggs out while you're playing the game. These will be in the places that you normally go and get food. You harvest these eggs and you got a chance to pick up chocolate pieces. These chocolate chunks are meant to unlock the recipe for chocolate arrows, which you can then go ahead and maybe buy from Burgle, or it should be appearing at the Burgle shop. That's my understanding when I asked the Grounded devs about it yesterday, because basically it's still not appearing. This recipe's not working, something's gone off with this event. So if you're wondering why you've got these chocolate pieces and nothing's happening with them, don't eat them. I tried eating like 20 to see if that would trigger maybe getting the new recipe, as that's how you unlock some of the other stuff like mutations for eating mince, sour pieces and spicy. But no, it didn't seem to work with the chocolates. As far as I'm aware, what they answered was they meant to get recipes appear in the Burgle shop. So the sign set is there for sure, showing the Easter signs, but not where we can buy the lucky hat and not where we buy the chocolate love-shaped arrows. It's pretty much almost seemingly look like it's meant to be a Valentine's event. I do wonder if Obsidian were planning to do more events like this and decided just not to bother, because it's a bit late for the chocolate arrows. Cupid, you get the idea. But maybe just in time for Easter, although Easter was a couple of weeks ago as well. The lucky hat, by the way, it does give you extra loot luck. So you'll get even more chance of getting bug parts when you kill creatures while wearing it. You can only access it at the moment in Playgrounds mode, or Creative mode maybe, and the arrows as well. But that's it. That's why they're not appearing in your survival mode. It does look like there's a bug or a glitch at the moment. There is also meant to be some sort of chocolate rainbow covered chunks maybe. I went through the game files and it looked like there was something to do with a golden egg that should spawn close or near the stump possibly. So whether or not it's just a simple case of converting the chocolate pieces into the rainbow one, or maybe the eggs have a chance to be a rainbow coloured egg, and then you get the recipe chocolate chunks from that, and then you can go ahead and make the hat, I'm not sure. Basically, once it's fixed, expect to see a video from me, but don't waste your time right now trying to unlock this brand new hat or these new arrows until you see me do a video saying it's fixed. And yes, once Switch has got their issues solved, I will do a video talking about how to do it as well. I will give you guys the heads up. And yeah, I'm enjoying the update. There are some things I'm not particularly happy with. I do think it's incredibly grindy for some stuff. I do get it's New Game Plus. I do get it's meant for the hardcore player. But I do get also that it's kind of been meant to be a bit more fun. And right now it's a heavy grind to get a lot of the gear. Even experienced players are having trouble basically unlocking some new stuff without really just putting a ton of time into it. There are some cool stuff. I showed you guys like the pixel glasses from Burgle that you can get. Wearing these gives a pixelated look, and these are only available in New Game Plus. And if anyone was expecting a bunch of content that wasn't centered around New Game Plus, well, they never really promised that, and I don't think anyone else really thought that. This whole update was really good for that. But the Ant Queens are something you can do, not in New Game Plus. At least you do get some new gear there. But again, some of the stuff that you can unlock with the Ant Queens, you might only get until you've done New Game Plus 2, 3, or maybe even 4. as some of the stuff will only unlock once you've done certain options. I won't spoil it here. But overall, yeah, the cost of stuff, it is going to make more sense. I think the initial outlay where you have to buy the station for 50,000 raw science, then you're buying all these recipes, it does seem expensive. But you'll quickly realise killing a bunch of infused creatures and doing certain things will get you a lot more raw science. And then so, yeah, you will start stacking it up a bit quicker. It just seems a bit of a grind. One thing I'm not happy with, though, is the teleporties. The teleporties I thought were a great idea. If you don't know, you'll be able to teleport between different places by putting one of these down. They've been in Playgrounds for a while. I'm glad they added it, but you only get it in New Game Plus 2. I really think it should be New Game Plus 1. It's such a grind having to go and do the stories again. And I realise it's all part, that's what New Game Plus is. But give us some of the decent goodies first, or at least make it cheaper. Currently right now it's 100,000 raw science to go ahead and buy 2 teleporties. That's right, it's 50k raw science for just one. I assumed you would get a set. People elsewhere were thinking we'd get like a pack. But no, you just get one teleporter to place. It's not something you can craft. 50k raw science. I was thinking it'd be like 5,000 raw science, not 50k. Like, come on, Obsidian. It's gonna be a grind getting all the way through to unlock every kind of weapon. And so yes, tier 4 weapons, where are they? Everyone's been talking about them. They're not in the game. Yes, they are. You got to get to New Game Plus 4, and they basically drop from bosses. So they're regular weapons, but they've been infused, so they've got much better stats in them. Maybe some different types. I'm working my way towards doing showcase, but as you can imagine, it's pretty tough, as I've got to complete the game 4 times. So if you're wondering where all the tier 4 stuff, it wasn't like we imagined. I thought maybe the Ant Queen stuff would be tier 4. They're just regular weapons, so hopefully I can work my way towards them. But other than that, yeah, it's kind of what I expected. It does give a lot more replayability to the game. There are always players out there that will carry on playing Grounded, even though they've done everything just like base building, exploring. Now they've got more of a purpose while they're doing that and more challenge. The infused bugs, yeah, they are tough though, I ain't gonna lie. And the infused bosses, if you get the wrong combination, which at the moment seems to be a lot of them having the explosive attribute, then it's going to be a tough time. I do think they need to balance it more so that not just most of the bugs have explosive. That's what I'm finding, at least anyway. I'm only coming across a few bugs that'll have like venom or attack damage or sour. Most of them do just have extra explosive damage, which you can only do a reduction on if you've maybe got a certain build, and if you've unlocked the infected shield, which you can't get the infected shield until you've gone through 1 New Game Plus at least. Or at least the right choices in the normal game. And this is all a bit codey speak, but I'm trying not to spoil it too much for people. But go and watch my recent videos where I showed how to get it. The choices with the queens is cool. The fact that they may have repercussions and different ways to do it, I like that aspect of it. And some of the quality of life stuff they've added is really good. Improvements to the playground, so you can copy certain things. And a good amount of decor. There's not as many milk molars as I thought there would be, or certainly because they are random. It's going to take a while to get more. So definitely recommend to people you stock up before you begin New Game Plus. Try and get every milk molar you can. Trinkets, there's so much choice with the trinkets. I've got to say, I'm going to do a proper review, but I kind of would have preferred if it wasn't such a focus on trinkets, but the ability to put whatever attribute we wanted on our weapons. I think that would have been a cooler idea to have in New Game Plus. Because at the moment, the trinkets are kind of just what you've seen before, or just other ways to get that same ability that you might have on a weapon or piece of armor, but now it's on a trinket. Like, you can re-roll them and it's kind of fun doing that, but yeah, there's a few things need to be added, and I'm going to be talking about that in a proper review video. So there we go, folks. Hopefully Switch will be signed in next week, that you can have your cross progression and crossplay enabled. Any other bugs and issues, they'll be rapidly sorted. Grounded have always been pretty on it with hot fixes, especially if there's massive issues where players are losing stuff or worlds aren't working or it's crashing. I'll give them some due. They normally have a PTB to resolve some of that stuff, but like any game update, there may be a couple times where it's not going to be great. But so far, I've not had too many complaints, people saying stuff's crashing or something's gone wrong. Let me know how you're getting on with Switch. Is it worth it? Is the performance good? And I'll be back with more guides and gameplay. So much more off, because there is just so much there. So until next time, Ratbags, laters.